everyone. This is It Gets to a Point podcast featuring your girl, Valerie Marie. And this is episode 8, Historical Mental Health, or Historic Mental Health. We're going to tap into some things, okay, so that we can better educate ourselves. Because guess what? When you have a conversation with me, you leave with a better perspective of mental health. You check yourself. You're not out here cosplaying, bootlicking, and worrying about the wrong stuff, okay? So over here, my podcast is all of the things, and we have a conversation. And the last girl that did this very diverse conversation type of think piece was Miss Barbara Walters. And unfortunately, my good Libra sister has went on with the Lord. So now we have to have the conversation. It's only right because we need to understand so that when we go in these jobs, when we go do business with certain people, and we're not understanding what is going on. Why is it a repeated pattern? Different person, same behavior, points to be proven, attention seeking. And it's like, it is not narcissism. It's not given that. And it's not given opportunists. What I learned is given historic mental health disorder. And what that is a person who is never satisfied with themselves. And they will spend a lifetime trying to change and fix themselves to fit the agendas of others. Now, me hypothetically piecing, because you already know how I get down on my grand scheme of things live on TikTok. And It Gets to a Point podcast on YouTube is an extension of the very heavy conversations that we have over there. But I'm very random over there because I'm not one of the ones that have the time to sit and go live every day. My days are booked and busy, baby. And I just don't have that type of time to just go live every day. It's not a career for me. It's something that when the thing comes to me to entail, to feel like, let me let the people know, because we don't gatekeep over here. We don't pick and choose who we want to turn up. We are very accountable, but we are also very empathetic. But at the same time, it's never safe when you have spent your entire life trying to hide from the one thing that is going to be profitable for you, the one thing that is inside of you, the one thing that will probably change your life. Historic mental health is real. There are so many people walking around, and with my expertise of working in the mental health field some years ago, I do not recall then, they may do now, but then we talked about all the topics, the DBT skills, level 4 PTRF, meaning a highest level ranking behavior center for small children. We talked about everything, the treatment teams, all the things, but no one ever discussed from leadership to an everyday person. Staffer, behavior coordinator, historic mental illness. That some of the traumas that we have, not only are they rooted in acceptance, they're also repetitive. Because 9 times out of 10, and the sun is the confirmation. The natural sun is the confirmation. That's why I'm moving my camera a little bit over. That maybe, just maybe, you want to be accepted because your mother wanted to be accepted, or your father wanted to be accepted, or your forefathers, your grandmother. Like, it gets to a point where you have to really educate yourself on your ancestry. And I'm not talking Google or Ancestry.com. I'm talking about get with the people in your family, the elders that are still alive, that can give you insight on if you and who you are. Because I will say this, a lot of people have it all wrong because they haven't done the research or had the conversations. That I don't think every person that is white is a bad person. I feel like, there are some that has completely re-infrastructured history and done some things that they're probably not pleased about or their ancestors have. But it just gets to a point to where is the level of accountability when you need it the most? Like, can you be honest without the system erosion? You know, we always talk about the status quo of things, but what about the fact that people that are not people of color has spent generations trying to pivot, but you didn't do it the right way. Everything is off of stolen goods, the blood and the black backs of my ancestries and other color ancestries. Because if you're not white, you're of color, and your people have been through wars to ensure that me and you are able to do what we're doing now, whatever that thing may be. It's about accountability. It's about the fact that what if they didn't cheat to get to the top or pick and choose how they want to climb the corporate ladder or make it seem like it's a man's world when everything around here is quite fruitful and in fruition, that anything that blooms is feminine. That piece of fruit that you eat that tastes well. It is the point that the hierarchy has spent so much time trying to consume destruction, war, and aggressive approaches that we've been tricked out of our spots since kids playing with doll babies, Monopoly, and guns and stuff. And you wonder why he's a gangster or he's in the military. It just gets to a point to where we have to call out the truth, because we were always told whatever your religion is, whether you are a Christian, Pentecostal, Hindu, Buddhism, whatever the case may be, Buddha. Listen, I'm not going to get into a tussle about what your spiritual belief system is. All I'm saying is that there is a brokenness in all systems. There is a brokenness in all religions because we have lost ourselves in some way. That it is a reason, absolutely 100%, that the Buddhas are walking around and getting connected, and they're going to the states. They were the first colonized states, meaning that America was America with the two K's before it was the United States of America. And South Carolina was a whole big thing before North Carolina and South Carolina got split because they couldn't agree to disagree. North Carolina wanted to evolve with the times. South Carolina still wanted to have that slave mentality. You do the math, not going too deep into that. I'm not here to tussle a politic. I'm here to expand your horizons to let you know, historically, if you are a revolutionary figure, that for somehow, some way, you don't even do nothing but step up on the scene, and I can attest to this, because I go through this shit every day. You don't even be doing nothing to these chicks. And when you go to work, you go there, you do your job, and actually you do a good job. But because you don't follow the grand scheme of things ploy, you see what I'm saying? They want you to be a mimic or a follower. And because you in your own world, it will always be a problem when you're not chasing titles. It will always be a problem when you're not looking to belong. People that are chasing titles, looking to belong, pressed for a man, pressed for a woman, that maybe your grandmother's grandmother was pressed. Or maybe, just maybe, your grandfather's grandfather had something to prove, because in the point of it all, why are we working overtime to try to control somebody else's life? Baby, I know a lot of people that has the title of a manager or director, but when they get home, they ain't got no peace. Their wife don't respect them. Their husband don't respect them. They running around here with outdated jewelry. Ain't got no type of upgrade since the 80s. I mean, I can go on. It's a lot of people that are alcoholics, loners. If we based every single thing in life on a title and the entitlement that you think you have, to be so comfortable in the business that it's not yours is just insane to me. And on top of that, to feel like you're privy to try to control a narrative that you didn't create. We are all adults. And the problem is we have been giving people that are not able-bodied or don't have the character or the mindset to try to be a boss. Yes, they talk about being a boss. They brag about all the monies and the things, but mentally they're quite immature. So does having a title that was given to you make you feel good about your low self-esteem? Because when you get off, you have nobody. You're lonely. You know, you don't have any respect in your household. The kids don't respect. Hell, even the cats and the dogs don't respect you. But you got the nerve to try to come and cosplay on somebody else's watch. Because we already know when it's not your business, it's only one or two things that's going to happen. You're going to get that company sued. You're going to get terminated. And that person going to be sitting pretty or handsome if he's a male. And he's going to be eating good off of the fact that you assumed you was bigger than the program. See, no one is bigger than the program. It's just the fact that if you allow someone to mentally brainwash you to think they are better than you, no one is better than anyone. It's just that some of us, especially the people of color, I got to shame the devil every time. We've had to work harder to get our independence. We've had to do certain things to educate ourselves. And it's either a few choice things that was going to get us out of certain situations. You were either going to school, being in the university or college. You either was going to be an athlete, or you either was going to be an entertainer. Those were the doors that we didn't have a choice but to go in order to levy up our families. So sometimes you do have to play the game. You have to fool a fool, to think you a fool, to trick a fool, to let them see you're not really that foolish, because if you just base me by my title, you will miss the play, okay? Because how I was raised, I don't know about you and your bigotry, but I do know the way I was raised was you treat the janitor, with the same respect that you treat the CEO. And it's so many games. Who's to say the plot twist isn't the CEO, isn't the janitor? That they switch sides just to see how people really treat the janitor. Because I see what I see and I know what I know. I just pick and choose how to act. But because I can't be managed or you're intimidated by me, and you should be very much inspired, honey, because I really could show you in real time, not that fake time that you on, when you're punching that clock, you're going to lunch, you're punching back in, you're doing every single thing because you're controlled by a clock. I'm controlled by a clock. It's just that when I'm off the clock, I take advantage to balance the shit. I'm not sitting around here worrying about what you doing, how you living, what you eating. I don't care. And because I don't care, and because I know how to stay in my lane and check you at the same time, professionally, respectfully, or disrespectfully, depending on the time, the place, and the setting, that you cannot stop nothing. The problem is you bootlicking, shackles on my feet. Individuals always try to humble the next man or woman. Humbling doesn't have any color. It has everything to do with pride. And the fact that you just assumed that it was okay to come in my city, in my town, and create chaos. Because a hit dog is going to holler every time. And it's always different ways to skin a cat. And on top of that, don't you ever go sweeping around nobody else's porch. And your porch is filthy. Your body is your temple. And as much as we don't treat our bodies and our minds because we're so intoxicated with drinks, so intoxicated with addiction, thus I am an imperfect individual. I have accepted that. Thus I have made peace with the villain side of me and the hero side of me. I know every day I'm not going to be 100%. I just don't have ego. I just don't pick and choose when I'm going to apologize. If I'm wrong, I don't mind admitting it, not even to a child. Because you can learn something from everybody. Hell, you can learn something from a baby. Okay? It's just, how do you see life? Or are you just that delusional? Or you can't sit still? You're always on go. A lot of people can't even be in a house by themselves. Because they so scared. They do so much hellish shit. They be so scared something bad gonna happen. You did. They be so scared something bad is going to happen because they do so much. And at the end of the day, if you are going through something within your mind, body, and soul, or even just allergies, and you can't sit in your own home by yourself, what are you doing? Because, baby, let me tell you something. I'm 41 years old. And family, work, career, creativity, all the blessings that God has given me. Because where I'm from, one monkey never stops to show me. And where I'm from, where one door shut, another one will always open. That I am way too blessed to be stressed by any mess. So I am covered. I hope you are. You need to worry about if you're covered. I know I'm covered, but are you covered? Because if you're not covered with this thin veil and all this foolishness that's been going on, and these algorithms, these social medias, all this stuff, baby, what are you doing besides creating a narrative? Because I know my heart. Do you know your heart? I know what I do for my communities. What do you do for yours? I know that I don't have to act like I am some completely perfect individual. That would be a lie. There is no perfect person. I don't care how you sit up in the church. I don't care how you run up and down, shouting, kicking, and screaming. No one is 100% perfect. It doesn't matter the religion. It doesn't matter the cause and effect. No one has all the answers. Okay? Everyone is just doing the best they can with what they got. Word to Mariah Carey. And unfortunately, a lot of people are on a power strike, hungry for power, or grown drunken in power. And that is where historical mental illness kicks in. Because you've spent your entire life wearing a coat. This skin is a meat suit. Up in here is your soul, your spirit. You was never able to be yourself. And it all started with your mother or your father or whomever was your guardian in life. It all started there. But the kicker is when you get an adult, no matter how broken the household was, intoxicated, or filled with confusion or uncertainty, no one wins in a family feud. That goes for work, that goes for home. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're at work, which most of us in America have to work, gotta do the work. Because the foundation is capitalism. So you can't just sit at home. You may get a little vacay. You might get a little PTO. But you got to get back in the field. Because that's just how it is. I didn't make the rules. I'm just the messenger. So historical mental health is still carrying on things that should have been stopped years ago. If you're an older woman, let me use this as an example, since this seems to be a problem, right? A woman that is more mature. If you get jealous or you keep trying to compete or you keep trying to do certain things to draw attention to you, being an overachiever at work, burning yourself slap out, picking and choosing, male-centered all the time, so male-centered, so male-centered. You want your male Conrads or colleagues to be your son, because 9 times out of 10, you don't have the best relationship with your children or sons or daughters or what have you. You're constantly looking to mother someone. Okay. Another example is always wanting to be main character energy, constantly changing yourself to fit the room. Like whatever energy comes in that's the most dominant, you're going to try to linger to that. Historical mental illness. Constantly changing the way you look, never satisfied, whatever is out, the BBL, TTLs, DDLs, whatever you want to go with, whatever the era of the aesthetics is. We got to fix that because not only do we have Women's Day coming up in March 8th to be exact. Go ladies, girl power. But at the same time, as the world is turning and healing, we need to realize that we cannot continue to work in these facilities, work within these corporations, live a lie on top of living a lie, convince ourselves of the lie that we're living, and still come home, rub the cat, the dog, give our wife or husband a hug, and ask what's for dinner, knowing we've spent at least a good 8 to 9 hours creating narratives, system corruption, incompetence, corrosion, erosion. And we've done everything that a hellish individual could do besides do the right thing. As long as things is working in your favor, you're good. As long as things are working in your favor, you're good. But the minute it comes to a point and it gets to a point where you have to protect someone besides yourself, you literally show in the awakening of the test of life how you've never changed and how it must suck to be you. It must really suck to be you. It definitely must suck to be you, because why was that made to be okay? Why was it okay for you to pick and choose how you want to show up for people? Why was it okay to do it off of the cost of me? Because I see the games. It's just if I'm willing to play it. Because I don't have to play these games. You understand what I'm saying? It's a choice. I've educated myself enough and been working since I've been 14 years old. Reverse Uno, I'm 41 years old. And when I tell you I will always be blessed, because the way that people have done me, I could never do you like that. Because there's a deeply rooted, psychotic, demonic mental illness historically embedded in you, because your mother, because your father, because of your forefathers or your foremothers, that you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I living right? Am I treating people right? Or am I just cosplaying, putting on an outfit, putting on a show, acting like I'm okay when I'm not? Because a lot of y'all not okay, and it shows. A lot of y'all are not happy. A lot of y'all can't stand your spouses, and it shows how you look at them when you're in the grocery store with them. A lot of you only care about what you want to care about. You're selfish, you're conniving, you're disrespectful, but let somebody wiggle that good old dollar bill in your face. You smile like you've never smiled a day of your life. Let someone bribe you into doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing it, but because it's only cheating till you get caught in your world. Why is that okay? To continue to create havoc off of the cost of other individuals, because you're not a happy camper. And you want to try to narcissistically, with your opportunist mindset or your perfection, knowing you're highly imperfect. If you're smoking cigarettes, drinking, if you have any type of addiction, you're not perfect. Show's over, bud. We all have something that we need to work on. But it's the level of not being accountable that we as a force, as a region, as a collective, as a world, and the continents, bodies of waters, land, hell, everything, we have made it okay to be wrong. We have made it okay to be sexist. We have made it okay for certain men that have certain titles to bully women on the job. We have made it okay for industries to be so male dominant, knowing who really bringing the bread and the butter, and it ain't them. It ain't them, because the woman is going to draw the attention in. We have not given the woman that has stood on solid ground and created safer spaces for other women to utilize their voice. Shout out to Barbara Walters. May she continue to rest in peace, that even her journey was spearheaded. Those men knew there was something in her. Anytime a man has told me years ago, if women just knew their power, how is it that a man know our power but we don't know it? But yet, if you was to leave this world before him, sister, he's just going to replace you with another version of yourself. So let's cut the my man bull crap. Yes, you need him and you need him, but don't ever get too comfortable. Give him 2 weeks, he's out of it. We have to understand the times we are living in. And it is not the early 2000s. It is not the nostalgics of the 90s, and it's definitely not the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, or the 50s. It is 2026. Let me say it two more times. It is 2026. 2026. And we mentally are still acting as if we are in the 90s or the 80s or wherever we are. Because everybody's mind different. Everybody learned different. Okay. But at the same time, there should be a rhythm that we all have to know that when something is wrong, you're really going to stand by that? You're really going to sit up here and curse your whole family because of your deeds? You're really going to pick and choose who you want to show up for? You're really going to see that there is a problem in the system, and you're going to be okay with it as long as you're filling your belly with silver and gold? That it just gets to a point, baby, where you have to call out the monsters that have acted as if they was not monsters, that played the role to act as if they care. People have a way of showing you how they never care. As long as things is going good for them in their life, they don't give a shit. As long as they're getting their way and they can have their way like Burger King, they will do anything to win, even at the cost of you, okay? So we have to stop thinking that your best friend wouldn't. Yes, the fuck she will. You have to stop thinking that man won't. Yes, he will. You have to stop assuming that job won't. Yes, they will. Because at the end of the day, it is not the building. The building does not have a soul. The people have souls. The people bring in energy and some corrupt. That is where the system corruption label come from. Because the system can't corrupt itself. It takes a village to do some corruption. And it also takes a village to figure out who's doing it. So never assume what you do not know. In the great words of my beloved grandfather that has transitioned, you make a ass out of yourself. And don't ever think because a person don't have a title that they don't have power. Power is not who is the boss. Power is still having integrity when all Hades is breaking loose and everyone is switching sides and nobody wants to be honest unless it's beneficial to them. Because you're going to pay for it. Because there is spiritual law. There is physical law. There is the law of attraction, energetic boundaries, surface level. We have all, no matter where you're from, no matter if you're black, white, Haitian, African American, Asian, no matter where you are in the colored lines of life, we have all been bamboozled to assume surface level was enough. Money is not enough. We got more single people out here than we have people that's in genuine relationships, because in one time in life, we made it okay to be a 304. Hoeing was a sport. Get a bag. Keep getting a bag. And because that is dying down, now some women can't get a man because the price went up, of course, and they have an unrealistic expectation of what it is a man can and cannot do. And then unfortunately, but fortunately, God does show favoritism because there are some more attractive people than others. And it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with ethics. It's just some people are automatically born with the main character energy, and they just know how to draw a crowd. They just know how to, they just have that thing in them. And it's so unexplainable because it's not for you to try to understand if you wasn't given that gift, So a lot of people are very average. They just got money. They're not good lookers. They barely even know how to think properly. They just have certain people that is a part of their programming to assist them because they have the money to do so. But your money makes you look good. For a good majority of you, you're not a very attractive person, but your money's attractive. It gets to a point, like, if I would sit here and brag about every single title I've ever had at a job, right? And I've worked many jobs, many different fields, Miss Original, all of the things. I've worked in mental health. I've worked in banking. I've worked in retail beauty. I've worked in warehouses. I've worked in marketing with cellular devices. I mean, listen, done it. Business degree in business and administration, bachelor's degree in business and administration, cosmetology certification. I mean, What more can I say? When you have experienced so much so young, it is very hard for anyone to put fear into me because there has been some roads that I have had to travel that it would be up to me if I wanted to express how hellish it can get. When you are chosen, how can you lose? That there will be people put in your life to test you. There will even be groups of people that will fall for the scheme and the plot. And as they age, like spoiled milk, and everything in their personal life is going to shit, because coming for me is almost coming for God. And I don't say that as if I am a God. It is how I conduct myself. I treat the janitor with the same respect that I treat the CEO. You would just assume because I keep myself up and I'm an attractive woman and I have main character energy and I have all these gifts and blessings and creativity that I'm going to be a snood like other women that feels that they're bigger than the program. No, because I know my journey and how uncomfortable my journey is. However, you can't talk to me dumb. I'm just as educated, if not more. I can't even fit everything that I've ever done on my degree, on my portfolio of my resume, because I have so much diverse things that I have done that I can walk in any room that allows me to go in it. And even if a room won't allow me to go in it, I'm a Libra. I will create my own door. Play with your mammy. So it's just like, am I going to sit here and tolerate disrespect? Because people always come looking for me. I don't come looking for nobody. You miss my vibe and aesthetic. I can care less about you because I'm too busy trying to get my piece together. Because I still got some work to do. I still got some things I need to sort out within myself. So I'm not concerned about what you doing, baby boo. Because what you eat don't make me itch, and you understand what I'm saying? Get into it. The fuck? It ain't never given that over here. So don't ever fit yourself up to ever assume that I care that much. Because I don't care about anything that is not helping. And when some people have spent a lifetime trying to break what you did not fix, you wasn't there the night when I was working 40 hours and had small children. You wasn't there when I was doing both a 40-hour job plus overtime, being a parent, as well as balancing my own mental health, working in a mental health facility, and on top of that, getting my degree. Okay, you wasn't there. You wasn't there when I had to make a decision to cut all my children's fathers off. So they can never say they gave me anything, never got an ounce of child support. Have I had to get some support in one point of my life? A good EBT card, hate to see me coming back in the day, because guess what? I'm a taxpayer, but I don't abuse the privileges of anything. That at the time when I needed these things, they were there. I never abused my privileges, but I can't say that for everybody. Can't say that for everybody, that I made do with what I had. I didn't look for a man to come save me. I didn't look for a woman to come save me. I didn't make excuses for being a young mother. I didn't make excuses for when I had my first child at 14, then turned around and had my other daughter when I was fully established at 20 something years old working. I had because I had already knew the play. When I was young, I had no choice but to get help. I had no choice but to depend on my family, even if they do earn churches, and I feel like they kind of sabotage some stuff because they tried to weaponize me with, religious belief systems. That when I became a woman and I was making my own money, I made sure my child had everything she needed, and my girls, only two, had everything that they needed. So no man can say, oh, I made her. That if you were not willing to do it for me, as long as I am able to work, I work. I did hair on the side and worked full time. I am Miss Do all of the things, because before that was a thing, I was doing the thing. I wasn't waiting on now one of my high school sweethearts or people I went to school with to acknowledge me. Half of them cracked out and doped up and look a mess now, at least for my area. I don't know about yours. So the good guy finishing last, it's never a problem, because it's never been a rat race for me anyways. I don't care what anyone is doing. I don't care if you, whatever you do, that's you. That's between you and your God. All I'm saying is that we got to stop this trauma. If you know you're not happy with how you look, do something about it. If you know you don't value life, go get help, go get therapy. But whatever you do, stop putting and projecting and deflecting your historical mental illness on other people, because you're just an unsatisfied, ungrateful individual that is bitter and needs to do better. But because your mama ain't teach you nothing, or your daddy let you get away with stuff, or it's just been a gender war in a household, and just a broken promises that ain't nobody keeping, that it is not my responsibility to save you. Because I have made peace with my villain and my hero. Because I don't have to use either against each other. Because at the end of the day, I have identified I am not perfect. No one walking this earth, your pastor is not perfect. The monks are not perfect. Okay, people make mistakes. It's just that, are you going to beat yourself up about the mistake, or are you going to brush your shoulders off and get to it? A lot of us don't know how to say to ourselves, maybe you didn't get the position, but guess what, Valerie? You did well. You've worked for companies for years. You do the dumping. And not only that, you're very smart, because as much as people want to try to assume who you are, they never can figure you out, because you're humble. And you're not over here trying to prove a point with any type of entitlement, privilege, because nothing was ever given to me by far. I would rather it not. As much as when I was a little girl, and I seen how people would just act a butt and they would, get away with it, maybe get a combo. Baby, let me act a butt. My mom's going to tear me up. Like, I'm so happy that I have my integrity and I don't have broken character, because a lot of y'all need the church to be your re-up. It's like an addiction for you. It's not even a place of fellowship that you go to. It's almost, let me go get that drug. I need that fix. And if you don't go to church for 2 or 3 Sundays, when you go to work, you causing the whole team stress, because without your fix, you're gone mad. Okay. Or you need your children, your wife, or you need that alcoholic beverage. You just need something to feel fulfilled, because you're really not fulfilled like that for real. If you can't sit at home alone and watch you a good movie, order you some food, or cook you a recipe, let me tell you who I admire. I admire every elder. I don't care if you black, white, Spanish, Korean. Listen, I can go on. I don't care your color. I learn from the elders, okay? Because one thing they gonna do is they gonna tell you the truth. If them clothes too little, they gonna say them clothes too little. You might get mad, but at the same time, I'd rather my granny tell me my outfit is not up to par than a strange person on the street, because that could go left or right. The elders are going to always be the blueprint, because they done been on this world way before us. And as much as we don't want to give them their flowers, they have seen politics change, people change, products change, eras change, that you can't ever tell me the elders ain't tea. See, we be thinking we tea because we still have like our youth far so this skin suit. But see, what's tea is when you have knowledge and you have power and you know where you're going, and you know when to talk and when not to talk. It just gets to a point to where maybe, just maybe, we all need to heal, including myself, from some historical mental illness. And maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't keep thinking just because we have a certain people that is, or a certain party that feels that they're above the program, because there's some good and bad apples in every game. In people, in politics, in businesses, everybody ain't doing the right thing. But it's up to you to decipher what you're going to pay attention to and what is noise and what is educational for you. So I'm not going to sit up here and stress myself out on why you want to try to trigger me, or you want to try to gaslight me because you're low self-esteem and the only thing that you have is money. I know a lot of people that have money that are very productive, that balance the scales and make it right with life. And I know a lot of people with money that are clowns. Having money is not the end all be all, babe. Because you can have money in a big house and it feels like glass. You can have a spouse that you're just not compatible with because you've turned into a monster, or you're an alcoholic. You come to work, you have mood swings, you might even smoke a little meth, who knows? All I know is that we have to stop assuming who a person is just because a person look a certain way. Stop assuming because they go to church they're not messy. Stop assuming because they put on a front that they're so well put together by their outfit. Do you not know how many hookers dress nice? Okay? Like, we have to stop. We have to completely start judging people by their character. And the rainbow from the natural sky, and, the sun want to be the main character, y'all. Say hello to the sun. Say hello to the sun. The sun want to be the main character. So it's just like, what are you inviting into your space? What are you doing to be a part and make a difference in life? Yes, I look good when I go outside. Yes, I take very much care of myself. And I'm 41 years old, and I like to put it on. All this is real pieces, baby. But I never take for granted those days when I didn't have it. I never take for granted those days when I was overly nice and did not have the boundaries that I have right now, because I didn't read up on things or give myself the knowledge that I deserve to know that this person is not good for you, Valerie. They're just going to suck you dry. Stop giving them this. I had to learn the hard way. I wasn't delusional. I had to just accept it's only one to two things that's going to happen in such a corrupt world that's based on capitalism and he say, she say, and privilege and looks and all of the things that makes no type of sense, that it's going to get to a point where the revolution of your revolutionary mindset is no longer cosplaying. That if you're sick in the head, you lucky if you have a business that you work for, which all businesses is depleted as mental health is these days. There should be a package for you. And even if your business don't offer that for you, they have better help and other ways to find installment plans to get you the help that you need. So you won't have to keep drinking yourself into death. You won't have to keep hiding behind your family. You won't have to keep resenting your husband because he's so obsessed with his mother. It's just, I can go on how historic mental health can affect everyday life. You're not jealous of the younger woman, knowing you're going to get ready to retire. I can just go on and on. You don't have to manipulate and pick and choose. And it's just too tricky out here enough that it's not the business that is corrupt. It is the people, the places and the things. So when you do get a couple of good people, good fellas, which can be man or woman, that come into a business to re-infrastructure everything, to get things back on track, because everybody's been way too comfortable. That why would I get mad at the discipline that we need within life, using a business as a metaphor, when we need that change? Because all everybody's been doing is sweeping their ish in the corner, metaphorically, hypothetically speaking, pushing dirt in the corner, but nobody's bending over and getting it up and throwing it in the trash can. So when you hold certain people accountable, one or two things is going to happen. The ego going to kick in, the pride, and it's always going to be related back to their childhood or to your grandmother's childhood. Because as much as you think you don't carry, if we carry our ancestors' bloodline, you got to know we carry some of their nervous system reactions. We may look like some of them that we've never seen unless we just dig deep into the family pictures. Like, it gets to a point to where if you want to be a good person, you got to understand that the janitor is owed 100% just as much respect as the CEO. And actually, because they used to have a show called The Boss Switch or something or another, to where the janitor was actually 100% the corporate CEO. And he wanted to see how you was going to treat him if he was the janitor. See, sometimes they'll do that too. They'll portray to be just to see and observe how you going to treat me if you assume who I am surface level. Because it's a life lesson that it teaches you that real CEOs and businesses thrive. If you wonder how that particular mom and pop business or that particular corporation is thriving, it's because it's something constituted in their mission statement, that if you see people retiring there and been there for years and years and years, no matter their color, their creed, or their ethics, it is a value installed to where they're not too corporate, thus they have to go with the time, and they're not too capitalist, thus they have to go with the times. They even the score by doing their just due. That yes, your company has to make money, and you may agree or not agree with some of the things that has happened, or depending on your engagement or how far you are up the scales of the pyramid, you may have a say and you may not, that it's not right, but you have to go along with the flow to pretty much save your bag. But then there's the ones that are the difference makers like myself, to where there's not enough money in the world that could make me hurt you. Thus you have hurt me to my core. Thus you have manipulated the systems time and time again, lied, cheated, scammed. You've done every single backstabbing, opportunist, narcissistic thing, because you're an abuser. You're an abuser of privileges. You're an abuser of life. And you just, in your mind, not my mind, in your mind, you feel it's only cheating till you get caught. And this is why a lot of people that end up getting exposed in these businesses, that you assume their title, they're not doing things they're not supposed to do, is because you kept looking at the title of the entitlement of them to constantly keep causing havoc. Reckoning up the face that a hit dog is going to holler every time. That is something that we say in the South, that you do unto those that do unto you. What is a man to gain the world to lose his soul? Steve Jobs made it clear that he wished, instead of so worked up about just consuming every life source in him, making money and making Apple as strong as it is, that it even sits, as he has perished. He wished that he would have put some of the money into balancing his personal life and his family life, because what is a man to gain the world to lose his soul? That all this money and profit that you've made, you have to pour it back into your health because you missed the play. You was making the money, but as you got up the ladder, you've done things to people, you said things to people, you've treated some workers until you've matured like crap. No boss is a good boss off the top. They have to learn by the different energies and people that come and go. The tables always turn, but when the tables turn, that doesn't mean you have to turn with them. You don't have to do nasty work to people to feel like it is an obligation to try to create confusion. That here's what I say to people, right? When people do things to me, because I know my heart, and I would never do some of the most evil, disgusting things that I see people do on a daily basis. I'm like, who raised you? And it shows you wasn't raised properly. Whether you had a 2-parent hole, one, like there's a level of demonic stuff going on with you. You need to seek help immediately. I say to you that if you ever come from Valerie Marie Jones, that's my full name, I want you to measure the hole that you dig for me, measure each corner perfectly. I mean, chef's kiss. And that hole that you dig for me, come in a little closer. That hole that you dig for me, your ass is going to fall in it. Because the hit dog is going to holler every time. Because if it hurts your feelings so bad that I just stepped my baby toe into your facility, if it hurts your feelings so bad because you cannot control me, if it hurts your feelings so bad because you don't love yourself, so how in the hell are you going to love anyone else? That my presence is a problem to you because you're insecure and insubordinate. And as much as you think you're bigger than the program, because by golly, I went to school and got all this education, but yet people are given jobs and titles that ain't went to not now university. Given jobs and titles because you've been the apple of your manager's eye. So they're just going to gift you with the title that your ass don't deserve because you don't know what you're doing anyway. That the point of it all is that there is something that went really, really wrong. That when people with degrees are getting looked over, that you know can do the job, and because you're threatened and you want to keep them stagnant, that how can you just give your buddy that you have a bromance with or your friend gala a job and dismiss the people that actually work their butts off in school to level up? Because that's what we was told to do. That there is a cold, dark place in hell for you. Because there is no way that you can push aside all that work. That's just like a lawyer going to law school for absolutely no reason, to never be able to do their just due. That's like an entertainer to work wherever they come from, whatever community, because I want to make it clear to that rock star guy with that dark hair that's talking about hip hop shouldn't be in a rock and roll hall of fame, nigga. Let me make it clear to you. And he a Caucasian. So I want to be clear in how I'm putting my just due on the N-word. Do you not know where real cowboy country music comes from? My folk. Do you not know where rock came from? My folk. So because your people stole everything, including the land, the waters, the cats, dogs. Listen, I know the savagery is real. And the fact that that little hair he had, he done had that same bang that's been overly processed, his holding on by a limb. You almost there, Big the Bear. That to insult a group of people that choose a different genre of music. Rock and Hall of Fame, the Rock of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't ask for hip hop. Excuse me, let me recorrect that. Hip hop didn't ask for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame asked for hip hop because y'all are unseasoned and bored. That they had no choice but to bring other stuff, just like Lilith. It was just a bunch of Caucasian women at first. And then when people started asking questions like, why isn't there diversity? What is this? What is that? That, the most endangered species of individuals is the mankind, and especially a person that is talented and multi-talented, they will always be a problem. So I do expect when I work in certain areas and when I do certain things, I will always be a threat to a society that just was born to break me. They never had any intention. They don't even care about their own wives. They use them as ploys and plots to look good for the satisfaction of the status quo, which is erosion. You need that woman because she makes you look good. Men are not respected when they don't have a good-looking woman beside them. You need that title for that job so people can make it seem like you the man of the year. And if they only knew how broken you are, okay? People need to feel like they belong. That's historical mental illness. You want to show up and be the overachiever. That when you see a woman, or more so your colleague, when you see them with the outfit on, you know what you do? You go home and try to find you a better one for the next day. Or if there is a woman that enjoys wearing makeup and looking good, sometimes myself, and you're plain Jane, you want to judge a woman that's how you know your husband ain't somewhere popping off with one with makeup? He just know how to clean up. So it's just like people have historical trauma. And because you're not really secure in your title, you're not really secure in who you are, that you're going to always need the church to run to. You're going to always need the picket fix, the cats, the dogs, the family, quote unquote, to run to. But everything that looks good is not always good. There is some very dark energy within individuals that I have seen. And it is very disturbing that all that you brag about and all that you do, you still come for someone that just really never cared. I have made my peace that I will never have it all figured out. And I have made my peace that I'm going to mess up sometimes. I'm just prideful enough to understand when someone's playing with me and when I'm playing with them. And I don't have too much pride to where I have to be a nasty spirited individual, because it can get nasty over here now. When it comes to how you're talking to me, because I'm not your child. I'm a grown woman. There is no man, woman, job career that can make or break me. I know who I am. I know what I've worked for. I know my accomplishments. So to assume what you do not know, what the old folks say, you make an ass out of yourself. I will never, ever be comfortable as if I am at home up under someone else's business, doing the most reckless things with these people's funding or profits, and think eventually I'm not going to get caught. That I'm just so above the program and I have so much privilege to just do whatever on someone else's time. That as much as you think you can count out the person that is actually ethical, but because she's either a woman or a minority, you want to overlook the truth because you used to still playing that club game. But in 2026, it's a new era. And you can't just mistreat people without a cause. That means a lawsuit. That means disciplinary action. That means that as much as the person thinks I will never be put up, baby, I'm put up right now. Blessed. The money's still coming in. Still looking good, fly, because I carry a light in me. That even when things look twisted and sick, it's really not that. You may assume, because like I said, when you measure that hole for me, baby, make sure you measure enough room for you to fall in it, because I'm never worrying about competing with nobody. I don't care what you do. You care about what I do. You watching me, okay? I don't have to act like I'm a nice person. I can shoot the breeze with anybody, okay? All right? Like, I can shoot the breeze with cats and the dogs, and I ain't even talking. I am for the people, but I'm for humanity. And it's a big difference that when you have made peace with your soul, that even in the most imperfected parts of you, you still shine. Because you're not looking to prove anything to nobody, that you've been there before and you know how it feels. It didn't work. You're not trying to keep making something that's broke. You can't fix broken. You got to work on what you can control. I can't control folk. Folk gonna be folk. Word to Obama. Folk gonna be folk. Folk gonna do what they want to do. Folk gonna feel how they want to feel. You got to know who you are. And when you're confident in the man or woman who you are, no matter the rumors, no matter the lies, no matter the corruption, systematically or not, I win because I have heart. I'm not out here breaking rules, committing crimes, and doing all the things that good old folk get away with every single day. Because nobody wants to hold you accountable because you're a manager. You know how many managers be doing stuff they ain't got no business because they got access? You know how many people in power has tried to change a narrative to make it about them? Baby, don't ever get it twisted to think just because you hold a title that you ain't the problem when you was the one that started it. I'm well aware of who I am. And let me tell you, my last name is Jones, and that last name will never get changed until a man has shown me that he is man enough for me. I am the prize. I am the woman. I am the therapist. I am the doctor. I'm whatever you want to be when it's just me and you, baby. But what you will not do is disrespect me or try to fool me into some type of relationship that's probably going to last 6 months to a year. Because I'm wifey material. I'm not no girlfriend. I would never put myself out there. Thus, I have had my days and ways where a time was had when I was in my 20s. We had a bar. We had clubs. We had fellowship. We had dance. We had rhythm. You feel me? Now, all we have is kids on tablets. Get outside. Touch the ground. Smell the roses. See the trees blooming. See the red birds competing with the bluebirds, baby. Get in touch. Get in tune. Get locked in. Go ahead and create a dance. Do a line dance. Tell the police officers in the city to block off the roads. And we need just a big line dance with every color person. And we just need to stomp a hole into the ground and let the ancestors know we free from our own misery, that historically we're all in a better place. Listen, no one wins in a family feud. And when I say family feud, every single person that has a heart that beats, regardless of your dark energy or your light energy, you still feel something. Because in order for you to go dark, there had to be something that happened to you and you're just mimicking it. And I still love you. I just may not like your ways. I may not like your character, but it has to be a change because we didn't get this far just to get this far. We've spent too much time comparing ourselves and competing with others that is just not the vibe. We got children, man. We got to raise. It's looking at us. And somebody got to pay the cost for the generational curses versus the generational wealth. And that don't have color in it. So we have to be a part of the change at which we want. We have to start creating places for children to play and be children. We have to bring back the Wonder Years and the Golden Girls and the 227s and old Hollywood aesthetics. Put your clothes on. If you really that girl like that, you ain't got to have it hanging out all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with arousing them because that's yours. But still, like, where did we go wrong? Where did we choose capitalism over just being a good person? Where did we go wrong where we assumed that men was above a woman? When we birth you, we give you life. All the man did was just connect with the woman. She carried the child for 9 months. She had death around her head for 9 months. She raised the child for the child to go up against her. What more can I say? So I am hoping when Women's Day come, March the 8th, that you can really show up for the women in your life, no matter who they are. Because we carry a weight silently that no man will ever understand. And we have an empathy for different people in different communities, whether it be the person that is a streetwalker, a jaywalker, a hooker, LGBTQ community. We have given people so many chances to backstab us. We have done the work and still doing the work. And so for you to judge me, you do not know my pain. You do not know the days where I've doubted myself. You do not know what I've experienced generationally. You don't even know what I'm healing from. But see, the thing is, it's not talking about it. It's about when you have the opportunity to change a person's life. Are you going to do it, or are you going to be the bad news bear that bullied you and you become that same bully that you said you never wanted to align yourself with? So unless you're a part of the change, unless you're creating spaces for your communities, unless you're evening the score, I don't want to hear about who's measuring who got the biggest GDP when you go home and you feel like PB, because you have done some below the belt stuff to keep the little bit of entitlement that you have that is running thin on ice. That my goal is to let everyone know it is okay to acknowledge the janitor, and to acknowledge the janitor with respect. Because guess what? The janitor may be the CEO. You never know. Plot twist. They never get too comfortable. Never assume people won't hurt you. Yes, they will. We all grieve differently if we've lost a loved one. Never assume. No one is the same. That is why it's called diversity. We are the highest of the hierarch and the monarch, human beings, mankind. And the animals are even sick and tired of us. We are not taking advantage of the eliteness that we have. And I'm not talking money. I'm not talking power. I'm not talking politics. I'm talking about when you leave this world, you're going to be judged for how you treated people, not how much money's in your bank account, not how you picked and choose, or if you treated this child better, that child better. You're going to be judged by how you treated yourself by far. Most of us have some type of trauma, doesn't matter more or less. What did you do to cure? What can you do to cure? We have to realize that it's more to life than getting a rich man. It's more to life than surface level things. And I know some of you wasn't educated to almost kill yourself and get HIV and AIDS and hepatitis and all these things. They are still out here. So please don't sell yourself short. Yes, you may have a pocketbook, but you're itching at the same time. So you just got to know what's for you and what is not. Because everything that look good, baby, mamacita, it is not a good thing. And I know that we can't change the world 100%, but if you have the resources, if you have the mind, if you have the power to do so, then why not? Because no one's going to be forever. and no one is going to live forever. So make peace while you have the time to do so, and love those that actually check up on you. Because it's a lot of people that don't have anybody, and they've built foundations, and they still kept a good heart. That it is a choice to be a nasty, grimy person. So do unto those that do unto you. I'm not expecting perfection, not even from myself. I'm just expecting accountability. That in this very dangerous world of confusion built with sorcery and madness, you be the change that we've always needed. That just don't reminisce on the nostalgics of the days when they were better, because they just didn't have technology to get exposed for the rotten things that they were doing. Just know, as life evolves, we should be evolving. That technology is put in this earth to assist us, not control us. You control the technology. That the technology was never supposed to be controlling you. That you limit the time for your child to be online. That is your parental role. It is not your child's teacher to tussle with them. It starts at home, because teachers are parents too. And those after school extracurricular activities, the beta clubs and the sports, things like, if the child is not doing well in their educational role, there should be a level of expectation, because he shouldn't be a dumb athlete. And then when he does make it big, when he gets that injury, he don't even know how to deal with his finances, because he's had a crooked attorney or a crooked accountant. Now he's broke. So it's like financial literacy. We need that. We need it. We need to know how to live. That it just doesn't stop when you go to high school. It just doesn't stop when you graduate from college. Life, it's someone 80 years old that just went back to college because they believed in their self. And we have to stop putting an age limit on how we can live. Baby, if you want to wear that outfit, wear it. It's your body. It's your choice. So instead of being so quick to try to judge your child, you was doing the same shit, you're just from a different era. Learn to communicate. Learn to accept the things that you can change and the things that you cannot. The rest, give it to the universe. Move on. Stop trying to fix a broken relationship. He's not going to change. She's not going to change. They're not going to change. All you are accountable and responsible for is being the best parent that you can be. There is no manual or road map to being a parent. Word to Christian. But all you can do is do the best that you can with what you got. Because people are going to judge you whether you're doing good or bad. And you really gonna get it when you shining and you main character energy. You got some money. You look good. Oh, you a problem. Okay? But be a good problem. Let them talk. Let them do whatever they need to do. Word to Mel Robbins. Let them think what they're gonna do, whatever they're gonna do regardless. I promise you, they're gonna go get the drinks. They're going to go do it. They're going to go tell a lie to their wife. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. There's no need for you to waste your beautiful tears on their foolishness. They're going to not be responsible or a person you can't count on. They're going to make it sound good, but they're just not accountable. Some people just are who they are. They will make it sound good, look good. I got you. And then the minute you call them, their phone going to voicemail. And see, the ones that you counted out are the ones that you missed, because then you start the process. They really was telling the truth about these motherfuckers around here. But see, I couldn't see it because I was caught up in the hype of life. Living that life. Got caught up in the hype. But you know what? We all done got caught up. Shit, I done been caught up a few times. I just, listen. I want to say this. Because y'all been in the DMs, baby. And I ain't talking about Listen, I ain't talking about they ain't broke. That's all I can say. I know y'all love my energy, my swag. I get it. I know you want to see what it be like, but you can't. You can't, because my requirements are very high of myself, and I just can't let no man come into my life and just ruin it. Ruin my looks, ruin my vibe. You can't get in my face because I want real love. I want to be treated like the queen that I am because if you do me good, I'll do better. I don't want you wanting me because of my voluptuous body or my attractive looks. I want you to love me when I'm completely manic as hell. Because I'm a Libra with Scorpio placements, Taurus, Capricorn, and Gemini. Play with your mommy. There's a lot going on. Okay? So there are days when I am batshit crazy, bro. But all I need is love. Because love conquers all. This is why my pieces, besides my opal, diamond, and my V for my first name, it's got a little heart on there as well. This is why I have a lot of heart jewelry. Even this ring, hold on. Because I love people. As crazy as y'all are and how y'all have tried to harm me mentally, physically, spiritually, I will always have a heart of gold because some way, somehow, I still believe in us. I still believe in you and me. I don't see color in a way to harm anybody or weaponize the Caucasians or the whites. I see it as a way to hold you accountable so you can understand my pain is not your pain. My privilege is not your privilege. To understand that we come from different worlds. It's just almost as a wife and a husband, right? He comes with baggage, she comes with baggage. You just take the baggage and you sort it. So I don't have all the answers, but I'm trying to find it. And I can't change the world. I can just only do my part. And it's only one or two things that's going to happen because, they love you on Monday and they hate you on Tuesday. And they can't stand you on Sunday. So I've made my peace with I will always be a threat to a broken society because it's not the society, it's the energies, the people, the things that you worship, the things that you do that I can't fight all y'all by myself. I'm not going to even try. I'm just going to make peace with what I need to work on, my flaws, my imperfections, my perfections, all of what makes me feel good or bad because I can't control what you entail. So it gets to a point where you get tired and you no longer have room to fight because you've done it all. You've seen it all. So all I can do is be the best version of myself and refuse to allow debtors to come into my life. We only accrediting over here. We're building real establishments. We're showing the enemy that you never had power to begin with. As much as you've had to use people against me, and they still ain't living good. That I am who I said I was the first time. I am Valerie Marie. Get into it. Brave, strong, star. See, that's what my name means. I'm water. I'm her. And it just really hurts my feelings that y'all didn't want to see my light because you wanted it. And because you couldn't control it, you wanted to dim it. But I say to you, God bless your soul. Because a hit dog's gonna holler every time. And there's many different ways to skin a cat. Just a couple sayings we say around here, us geeky folk. But I wish you well. I wish you life. I wish you insight so you can see for yourself. Where's Jay-Z? I wish the best for you, so you leave me alone. Because if you good, then you will leave me alone. But that's really not the case. Some people could really just be jealous of you, and it's just your energy. They don't got nothing to do with money. They don't got nothing to do with time. People just love you. They hate how people love you. And the whole time, you making sure people coming in looking apart. You the reason people is looking apart. Because you set the foundation of the fashion shit. You set the foundation of the trend setting. And you ain't even trying to be a leader. They just flocked. So I will not apologize that I misdo all the things. And I quantum leap right up out that confusion while you're still there. And I'm blessed and highly favored because one thing about my God, And them goddesses, they do not play about her. And I am her, honey. You can't tell me my grandfather didn't make a mistake when my name in real life means water. Because we know water can look real cute. It can take you on a spin, but if you get deep, it will swallow you whole. So take a playbook to stop assuming what you do not know. And let's heal this historical trauma and mental illness that some of us, all of us carry. Because we still are trying to get over what all is constantly replaying online and on TV. So in order for me to heal, I have to forgive myself. I have to forgive all the people that have played a role in orchestrating and cosplay and confusion within my life. I have to forgive my parents. I have to forgive everything. And I have to also be apologetic of any confusion that I may have sorted. That it gets to a point that when you want more, every successful person has had to research, educate, read books, change, fast, meditate. It's so much that comes with wanting more in life. And it is not easy by far. It is just how bad do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get it? And there are some people, absolutely some people like I, that will not sacrifice themselves and others off of the strength of a dollar. That some of us are really genuine people. And all we ever wanted is for you to be genuine, but you couldn't do that. Because you was too busy chasing a check that you was going to spend and have nothing to show for it. That when I leave this world one day, I want to be shown for something. I don't want to be known for being a nasty spirited individual. I don't want to be known for hurting people. I don't want to be known for being spiteful. I want to be known for pivoting past that BS, for them booby traps, for them traps and generals, for that antics, for the manipulation, that I took a stand on me. I believed in me. I've been believing in me since 8 years old. And I'm not going to stop believing in me. I don't care who need to come or go. I don't care what needs it. There is nothing that left me that another best thing didn't come. So I'm very confident in my God, and I'm very confident in myself, and I'm confident in my mistakes because I'm going to probably make one later. But I'm just not going to beat myself up about it because I don't have all the answers. I just trust the process, and I keep going even when I'm counted out. But baby, if you counted me out, you can't count. So I'm going to win regardless because I believe in me. Pick the bear. I don't have to orchestrate confusion to feel good about my low self-esteem. I'm going to deal with it silently without projecting and deflecting on you. And I will not apologize that I don't have to mistreat people when I have worked in mental health facilities just because I carry a title. I'm not going to re-traumatize a person that's already traumatized. It's the wrong way to go about it. You're not adult enough. Get out of there. I love people. And as much as you all have caused me some harm and wanted me to be without, or have tried multiple times to take food off my table, baby, I'm still eating quite well. I could stand and lose a couple of pounds. I have enough boobs and butt and thighs to give to the United Nations, for God's sakes. That I choose not to use my beauty as an excuse to humble people or my privilege or whatever you think I've got. I'm just me. I'm just Valerie. I'm just a woman that like looking good, that is highly educated, that went back to school to accomplish more for myself. And I never stopped learning because I'm a forever student. I never forgot the child inside of me, thus she cannot make executive decisions for me anymore. I just have boundaries with myself, so I'm going to have them with you. And I will not apologize for that. I will not apologize that you're not going to run me in the ground. You're not going to consume me. You're not going to bully me. And you're not going to hinder me from my success. It has been on the menu since the day I wrote it at 11 years old. Because while you was looking for the picket fix and the man and all the things, baby, I wanted to be like the girls on the Sex and the City, fly as fuck with their own bread. Thus, I didn't know after I finally was old enough to watch the show by myself that they was doing all the things they was doing. Now, some of them was for the plot. But at the same time, I always wanted to be a boss. But I wanted to do it with love, not neglect, not disrespect. So let's heal this historical trauma that we've been carrying for too long. Your back ain't hurt. You want to know why your back's still hurting and you exercise? Because you're still carrying your grandfather's pain or your grandmother's pain. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You can't hurt me anymore. I don't care what they're gonna say. The storm rains on. The cold never bothered me anyway. The cold never bothered me anyway. Let's say it again. The cold never bothered me anyway. You gotta move with the weather. Whatever's clever. Shit gonna get real. Might get spooky, might get hard, might even get dark. With the message to the madness. How you gonna get out? So yeah, that's the message for the day. This is the It Gets to a Point podcast. And this is your girl, Valerie Marie. Come on in, let's have a conversation. Okay? We gotta have a conversation because we're healing over here. We're taking full accountability. You're heard. And I'm finished and I'm done. I hope that you have a very blessed weekend. We might post episode 9. This episode was episode 8 on the It Gets to a podcast featuring me, Valerie Marie, historical trauma and mental illness. Get into it. Lock in with self. Because if you ain't locking in with you, how you gonna lock in with anybody else? How you gonna do a thing when you scared of the thing you trying to do? Where they do that at? Okay? See how I can code switch like that? Super professional at all times, though. Meaning no pun to anyone. But if I can keep it P with me, you must allow me to keep it P with you. Well, y'all have a good day. And if you ain't having a good day, in the great words of Tabitha Brown, please don't go mess with nobody else's day. We are all trying to listen, we fight for our life to keep our mental health together. We don't need any more problems, okay? Everybody's doing the best they can what they got, all right? So y'all take care. Pour love into yourself so that you can pour love into others. And this is the It Gets to a Point podcast featuring your girl, Valerie Marie. And y'all have a blessed day. Bye. Are we done?